to my channel. So today I'm going to share with you guys my preschool picks for my 4-year-old. He just turned 4 in June and we will be homeschooling. I'm very excited. This will be my second child that I will have homeschooled from the very beginning. He has not done any kind of formal education yet. He's a very different kid than my 6-year-old Henry. This is my 4-year-old Jack. He's very different. He's very creative, which I will talk about how I try to foster that creativity in him. I love finding all of the unique and special qualities about my kids and doing my best as their mom to really nurture that and bring out their strengths and encourage them in the areas that they thrive in. So I love that part of homeschooling is it's not a one-size-fits-all type of thing. It's your mom who knows you best, who is tailoring your education to you. So I absolutely love that, and I think that starts from the very beginning. But I want to share with you guys the spine, the curriculum that we will be using for him this year. But then also the really fun part about preschool to me is all of the manipulatives and games and extra things. We will definitely have a lot of that in this video. It's actually all at my feet right now. And I thought it was pretty minimal. But then taking it out of our closet that we have nice and organized, which I can't wait to share with you guys, taking it all out of that and putting it on the floor, I'm like, whoa, okay, we have more than I thought. We have plenty, Madison. It's a good reminder that we really don't need more, even though it's a lot of fun to get this stuff. I'm trying to go more minimal when it comes to my entire life, but also my homeschool, because I want us to have, I love curriculum, I love manipulatives, I love all that stuff, but I don't want it to feel like it's chains binding us to just using that, and then we don't have the freedom that homeschool allows of just kind of getting out in nature and living our lives side by side and going on field trips and all of that fun stuff. That is my main focus. So my main focus with my Jack is one, just enjoying this year, having a lot of fun, bonding with him. 4 is my favorite age. I love 4. It's such a cute age. So just really cherishing this year with him and bonding with him as much as I can. That's number 1. Number 2 is for him to just have fun learning. Just enjoy doing things that he doesn't even really realize is learning, but enjoy that and have fun with that. And foster his own creativity and his gifts and talents, because he is very creative and he has a very interesting mind where he builds things constantly, and I'm just so excited to teach him and to watch him blossom in that way. And then 3, the basics is just I want him to have letter recognition, both capital and lowercase letters, and know all their sounds, and basically know what the numbers look like and how to count to at least 20. Is my goal right now. He can count to at least 10. I feel like he almost gets to 20. He skips a number or whatever. So just practicing that, but really just building that more firm foundation for him so that he feels confident and ready and there's no struggles because he doesn't know what the letter D looks like or whatever. You know what I mean? I think in a lot of areas of school, just giving your child that firm foundation, whether it's in math or reading or whatever, is what helps them launch into their further studies. So let's see, I actually have 2, almost 3 curriculum that I'm going to show you guys to start, but I'll show you the main one. Okay, actually you guys, I think I have 4 curriculums that I can choose from. This is the product of being the younger sibling. I am very much a trial and error type person. I like to get my hands on things. I watch tons of review videos and all of that, but then I really like to get my hands on it and try it, and sometimes it doesn't work out. And the good thing is I have another child after Jack even, so every kid is different, and maybe having all of these curriculum at my disposal will allow me to try different things with each kid and see what works best for them. But I've kind of figured out at least what I like best. So I'm going to kind of share with you guys what I like best and what I'm going to go with because it's what I think is best. But, if we have trouble with something, we need to troubleshoot. I have other stuff, which I'll show you guys that I can use. And I'm not opposed to that. But yeah, so this is Jack's bin right here. And each of my kids, the 3 that are in school, have a bin like this. And I really like it because it has this little container that you can put like their pencils or like the Ticonderoga pencils and then some of their manipulatives. So one of the curriculum that we will be using, I guess I need to mention this one first since it's a little dusty. It's sitting on my desk. Okay, we'll be using the Preschool Sunlight. I actually have a whole video, probably went into too much detail, but a whole video on this curriculum. It's the Sunlight Tea, history, Bible, literature, and it's fiction, fairy tales, and fun. It's like their lowest level, and it's meant for ages, I think it's 3 to 4, something like that, 3 to 5, something like that. And I've already started using it, so I know that I do like it, but I didn't start using it until like more than midway through last school year or something like that. So we still have a ways to go in this. And I'm also doing this, a lot of it, with my 6-year-old, my almost first grader, at least as far as the books go. I am also reading most of the books to him, but what I've figured out is that as far as the curriculum, it's a little bit too young for my 6-year-old and it's perfect for my 4-year-old. So I will be using this curriculum. It's only 3 days a week, so it's pretty simple. And the good thing about preschool curriculum is since they are usually they usually have less lessons, then you can fit more than one in a year if it works out that way. So we will be doing this, and what this comes with, Sunlight T-Level T comes with, and like I said, I will link the video because this is obviously a very big binder and there's lots of tabs and all that. So I'll link my video, in-depth video on this curriculum. But and I want to keep my little ones together for this history, Bible, literature, so that's why I'm going to have my 6-year-old kind of listen to the books because they're just classic, like fairy tales and stuff, like good books for anyone to read. But it also comes with these cards, which I like because it's just another way to learn your letters and your numbers. And they are, I won't go too into detail because you can watch that video, but they're like, what is this? Sandpaper? So you can feel it. So they call them sensory letters, and then they're sensory numbers. They can trace it and feel the sandpaper, and he is very much like wants to get his hands on things, so I know he's gonna like this. We didn't really use it yet, so we're gonna actually utilize the manipulatives this year for his preschool year for his numbers and letters. I also have some flashcards that I laminated and made upper and lowercase letters for my 6-year-old when I was teaching him, so we will use those as well, I'm sure, just as time goes on, and I feel like we just really need to nail in those letter sounds and letter recognition. I like just using good old flashcards. So that's what worked for us. But then this curriculum also comes with these cool colored pencils that have these, what do they call it? They're grip pencils. So I know he's going to love that. And I actually am really excited to teach a kid who's into art because he will spend so much time on a coloring page. Like I would hand a coloring page to my oldest, specifically him, because he has essential tremors, which means his hands shake. But then even my second oldest, who's 6, I don't know if he has tremors yet because I didn't find out with Carter till he was like 8, but it doesn't appear he does. But anyway, he's not as into art. They'll just like scribble a little on it and be done. I think Henry spent a little bit more time than Carter. Carter would literally just scribble and be like, here you go. But Jack like actually spends a lot of time and thought and different colors and all of that on his art. I'm gonna have a whole art section I'll show you guys in a minute. But anyway, so I'm excited about that. It's so fun teaching different kids, having different kids with different personalities and all of that. So it also comes with number cards. So this is really cool. I like this a lot. So you would only need the Sunlight curriculum, I feel like, and you would be good. Honestly, but that's just not where we are for me. Don't buy any more, Madison. Don't buy any more. Trying to be smarter. And then it also comes with some fun little scissors, which we've got a ton of kids' scissors, but this stays in his bin for when he needs scissors. It's nice to have a bin like this where I just have his main stuff in it and we just grab this bin and know we have everything we need. It also comes with this fun like little knife. So in the Sunlight curriculum, it gives you like real life stuff to do with your kid, which I really like because it's feels very Montessori to me, which is a type of education or philosophy or whatever that I've been drawn to in the past. Of all of them, I would not say I'm one, but of all of them, I would say Montessori so far was like my favorite, especially for little ones. So this is, you know, safe, but also can cut some stuff. So we will be doing that as we follow the curriculum. I know he will love to do that. My kids love to help in the kitchen. It's a big thing I've always done with them that I truly enjoy, bringing them alongside me when it comes to chores. If you watch my cleaning channel, you know that. So like, honestly, that's a big part of his preschool, is just learning how to be self-sufficient and how to clean up after himself and help out the family, do chores, cook, all of that. And kids love that. Like most little ones love that. Even my Charlie, she is 1. She loves to help me move the clothes from the washer into the dryer. Like she thinks it's so much fun. Like this is like a great time with mom doing this. So, I want to say that too, that I feel like even if all you did is have like flashcards to teach them like their letters and their sounds and stuff, and then just did real life things with them like cooking and all of that, then that's plenty in my opinion. So anyway, that's what's in this part. And then, oh, this I feel like is necessary. Okay, if you're going to buy one thing, okay, I have a lot of stuff, so it's kind of hard to say. I would say probably just, it depends on your budget. So I have 2 curriculum I'm using, spoiler alert. My 2 main curriculum, Sunlight, and then the Good and the Beautiful Preschool, which I'll show you in a second. Those are my 2 main spines for my Jack. But if I were to go back and, because I had already purchased this preschool curriculum a while back, the Good and the Beautiful one, because I actually did it. So let me just show you the Good and the Beautiful preschool now that I'm bringing that up. I did this. This is like the revised version, but I did something very similar to this with my 6-year-old. And we really liked it. We loved it. We truly enjoyed it. It was so much fun. I did it when he was 3 years old. We would sit down together and work on this. I tried, my Jack is 4. He turned 4 at the end of June. I tried to do that with him at 3. No, he's just way too active. He's a very active little boy, very stubborn, and he was just not about it. And I was like, well, I'm not forcing this. There's no reason for that. So we are waiting, and it actually is truly amazing. And I feel like this is really important, good advice. Listen up. Get ready for this great advice. But I think it's really important to, if you feel like your child, like your preschooler or your young kid is like struggling, just step back and wait like 6 months or something, depending on what it is in their age. But like, for example, with Henry, when we were trying to read, so he started learning when he was like 3, started doing preschool stuff with me. And then I think when he was like 4, almost 5, I tried to start doing reading, and it was going okay, but I could just sense some pushback and that it wasn't totally clicking. So I just backed off and waited until his kindergarten year started. So I think that was like 6 months. So then he was like 5.5, and he just picked everything up so easily, and it went so smoothly. I mean, it was work, but it went very smoothly. I didn't feel like I was forcing it or pushing it. It just was exactly the amount of challenging, information that he needed for his level. So if you feel that way about reading or even just doing schoolwork in general, maybe give it 6 months, 3 months, 6 months, a year, depending on your child, and you could have a whole new kid after that time. So I feel that way about Jack. When I tried when he was 3, he was totally not ready, but now that he's 4, he turned 4 at the end of June. It's August 2nd today when I'm filming this. He's so ready. Like, he'll be ready today. We're gonna start, I think, in like a week or so. But he would have been ready probably like a month ago or something. But I'm waiting until the school year starts, and then we'll get into it. But it's a big difference. And so instead of going through that emotional turmoil for him and me of trying to force it, I just backed off and let him live life. They're only little for so long. So anyway, we're going to do the preschool. Like, I sat down with him when he was 3 and was trying to be like, It says points of the alphabet on the previous page. Read to the child. These are the letters in the alphabet. Repeat after me. There are 26 letters in the alphabet. Henry, like to this day, knows there are 26 letters in the alphabet. That worked for him to repeat after me and all that. Tried that with my 3-year-old. He was not about to repeat after me. Like, he's like, no thanks. But now that Jack is 4, I feel like he's ready to repeat after me and he'll think it's fun and interesting. So, and then this says like find the A's. So I feel like the Good and the Beautiful and Sunlight are very different. Like I showed you what came with Sunlight. The Good and the Beautiful, it comes with this workbook, which is, each lesson is what, 2 pages? Yeah, about 2 pages per lesson. There's some cutting practice. And it's just really pretty, and there's like different letters and things, ways that you can see the letters, different games. The games was my favorite part about this preschool curriculum, and I love now, I actually bought the new one, even though I had the old one, because I love that the Good and the Beautiful has really stepped it up as far as organizing their curriculum, like having it already organized, truly open and go for you. And I feel like that is this. The games were not in this like nice divider thing when Henry did preschool. So I love that. It calls it folder activities. And it has like Mouse House. That's a game I remember playing with Henry that he loved. And you just pull this out. And I probably have some prep I need to do. But it's all like right here, the game. And then you can just put it away. Whereas before I had them in baggies and it just felt like not organized and not very minimal. Whereas if you're going for a more minimalistic approach, I feel like this does such a good job at that. I love it. It's such a satisfying little divider thing. Oh, and look here. They have their own flashcards. I didn't even know that. So I may use their flashcards, but I see some flashcards here. So I actually kept, I think it might be different now. I kept the letter alphabet flip books from the first preschool curriculum because I really liked these. So before we did flashcards, we would do these little flip books, and they just came like this. You cut them and then you flip it to which letter would match, like a turtle. Like you would find the uppercase and lowercase t or whatever. And it would only go through certain letters. Like this one is T to Z. And so you have like A to F, G to L, and M to S. And so it wasn't like all at once you're trying to learn all 26 capital and lowercase letters in the alphabet, you know. So I liked these a lot, and I'm glad that I kept these because I don't think they did this again in this newly revised edition. However, I bet what they did in here is really good. So I'm excited to try that out, and I'll definitely do a review of this for you guys. But I think I will use these as practice. And then it also comes with these practice sheets, which this is different than the preschool curriculum. It's just all organized so much better than their original one. It's like, it was always, sorry, that's my dog going down the stairs with my oldest, if you heard that. Ooh, I like that. That's like the letters, uppercase and lowercase letters. Can you see that? So it was always very open and go, but it wasn't as organized, I think, is what it was missing with the Good and the Beautiful. So I love that in their revised editions, I'm telling you, their new editions of stuff is always like so amazing. So I love that they have it much more organized. So this is honestly, truly our main spine of what we're going to be doing is the Good and the Beautiful preschool. Okay, this is something we loved. It like gets me emotional. I love that I homeschool my kids and I get to do all these things with them, and I get to have all these memories of teaching them. So Henry had this. It's Handwriting Without Tears. Love Handwriting Without Tears. And it's my first school book. So Henry did this one and the kindergarten one, and then we moved on to the Good and the Beautiful handwriting, but love it. And what he's going to love this. Jack is going to love this because a lot of it is like coloring. I think that's why they call it Handwriting Without Tears. Like, look at this. How cool, how pretty. So it starts off like before, you don't even do letters or anything to start. You're just doing like following the ladybugs, tracing the ladybugs and the bees and everything, just kind of getting used to that. and coloring, and then, oh, it has shapes in it, which I really, really like as well. So, and then it eventually, oh, and this one, like, it tells you color all this orange, color this blue. So eventually it gets to letters, as you can see, but it's so simple. Like, look how easy that is. That is not complicated. So it's handwriting without tears. Like, it's just simple, and it really does prepare them for kindergarten handwriting. And then you can see these little block things here up top. I actually have those manipulatives. So I will show you guys that in a minute. Handwriting without tears, you can purchase a bunch of different manipulatives to go along with it, and your girl likes manipulatives. Okay, sorry. I really like manipulatives, so I purchased that in the past, so I'm just going to reuse them. All I had to do was buy this, but all the manipulatives I purchased for Henry. So, but I'm excited to use those with Jack, and this is definitely something I highly, highly recommend. Those are like his main things that he is using. But I have a couple other curriculum and a bunch of manipulatives to share with you guys. Oh, one other thing I wanted to say, so I'll share this. We also want to teach them to write their name, I feel like. I mean, you can learn that in kindergarten as well, but I start in preschool, teaching them how to write their name. So actually, this is new. My kids love writing on a whiteboard, and I saw this, I think it was at Walmart, in the school supply section for a really good price, and it has like the little lines that you use. It's a little marker. Jack is gonna love this. Like, he's gonna love writing his name with this. And then I used this with Henry. I would just put his full name, his first and last name up top, and have him copy it down. So these are great to have just for practicing writing their name, or if you want them to write a letter or something and it's just easier. It's a primary tablet. That's what they call it. Just easier for them with these like wider lines and everything. So what's coming up next is math and art. So I have a few things for each of those. For math, I do have this Horizons Math K workbook. In my humble opinion, it's just not like enough. And I know that's controversial. And probably rude for some people, but look at little Henry, the stuff he did. But I don't know, I just feel like doing a couple of pages in kindergarten of math is just not quite enough, in my opinion. But, I mean, I don't know, it's a good, for the younger years, it probably is enough, it's probably fine, but I've got the too much gene, apparently. So, anyway, but I did use this just the first few pages for Henry in preschool. And so we have a lot left, and so I thought, oh, you know, maybe Jack can pick up where Henry left off on some of these and just see if he's ready to use it, just to utilize the rest of this workbook, but if not, it's fine. But the main thing I do is I actually had these, I printed and laminated these. I had these on like a big poster board thing, and I had a huge calendar on it and everything for Henry for calendar time. But once Jack got old enough to roam around, he would try to destroy it, and then now my 1-year-old Charlie will try to destroy it, having this big poster out. It didn't work. It just didn't work logistically for our family. So I even have the Velcro on it. So I just took them off, and I think what I'm going to do is get some morning menus, and I'm just going to put these in his morning menu. And just what I did with Henry was we would just go through the alphabet like every morning. We would sing it and we would point to the letters, so uppercase, and then we would count to 20 and we would point to the numbers, and we would often count to 20 in like Spanish or French. I don't speak those languages, but I know how to count to 20 in those languages, so we would count to 20 in Spanish and French just for fun. So that will be in his morning menu, and this is kind of math. I start with just 1 through 20, and then I move on to the hundreds chart. So I haven't decided if I'm going to hang this up in our closet, our homeschool closet, or if I'm just going to take it out and just let them mess with it, because they like to touch it and stuff and count on it, and I'm sure Henry could still use this as he's learning multiplication and addition, subtraction, all that. Henry knows his numbers, how to count to 100 and everything. But this will be good for Jack once we're moving past counting to 20. Just got this off Amazon. I will try to link everything I can down below if I remember. So anyway, That's something we will be using for math. These I highly recommend. So we've got a bunch more of these all throughout the house. I might buy a few more of these, even though we really don't need anything more. But Jack loves playing with these little cubes. They come apart, put them together. You can do it like on the side, turn it into like a gun or whatever they like to do, a robot. So Jack loves creating and putting things together, so he just plays with these without any instruction, but I thought it would be fun to talk about the colors, just to remind him of his colors, do some counting and all of that with these. So I just have it in one of these. And then as for his shapes and colors, what I did with Henry and what I'll continue to do with all my little ones is I just use a puzzle. And Jack basically, he's been doing this, like even Henry, it's so cute, we'll do this with him and they enjoy it. We'll just take all the pieces off, and as I let them put it on themselves, I'll ask them like, what color is this? What shape is this? And then once they get it correct, then they get to try to put it on the puzzle. So we'll continue to do this every once in a while just to make sure, like, you know, he might forget what an octagon is or a pentagon or whatever. So for those shapes and just to practice his colors some more, we'll do this. I know Henry will enjoy doing it with him. That's something that my older child can do with my younger child. And then also Charlie, my 1-year-old, she likes playing with this too. So this is a great investment. This is by Melissa and Doug. They have, you probably know this, but they have great toys that are like educational and just like basic classic type toys for kids. And then another kind of math thing that I got years ago for Henry, and we will use, I'm surprised this thing is like still alive, but we will use this for Jack. It's like, it's math, but then it's also letters. So see, it has the alphabet and it goes all the way up as you stack it. And so see, there's letter B, A, and C, and then it has it A, B, C right here. And then as you stack it, the letters line up. So that's fun for working on the alphabet together. But then also it teaches just like, I don't know if you call it spatial recognition or whatever, but like understanding that you have to start with the biggest block and then the next biggest and the next, you know, smaller, smaller, smaller. Just being able to do that is kind of tricky for little ones, and so that's like a fun thing. Jack is honestly pretty easy for him because he just sees things that way. It was a little bit more of a struggle for my older child, but he still really enjoys playing with this, and then they love knocking it down, and it's just like a fun game. So this is something I would definitely recommend. And then this is something new that we got. It is the Mathematical Intelligence Stick. So I got this, it was only like $8 on Amazon, and I got it because with our Math K curriculum, we lost the sticks that come with the Simply Good and Beautiful Math. We lost the sticks that come with it, and we have literally everything else but the sticks. It was when I was in the hospital with my oldest. So I thought, I don't want to have to buy like a whole new box just for that. That's silly. And me and Henry just stopped using them and finished the curriculum and we were fine. But I thought Jack will enjoy playing with those. And then I saw this and I was like, this is more. I can keep what I have from the math box from Simply Good and Beautiful Math K. And then I can use these sticks from here, but then also I can use this for my older child because it has like division, addition, subtraction, multiplication, and equal sign, and then you can have the numbers for your answer and then the sticks. So this is fun. It says, you can like build a house, build a fish. So Jack would like that kind of thing, and then my older child would like doing the adding and subtracting, and then you can also line them up like one stick, the number 1, and one stick there, kind of like those dots from Sunlight. So I thought that this was really nice. It says ages 3+. I thought that this was really great for math for him and for my older son as well. So it's the Learning Without Tears, or Handwriting Without Tears. So you can go to their website and get it. So they have things like, it's specifically the size of like a letter, so it can help you like with drawing a K. You would start here right against this line and then, go to that corner and that corner. And it just helps a lot with that. And then it has these little tiny chalk pieces that it comes with that the kids like fit their hands really nicely and fit the board really nicely. So Learning Without Tears. So this is really just like fun to do. Has two sides. And I also have, there's this, and I don't even know what this is called, but you know what this is. One of those things. Ooh, it's not working. One of those. And so this is like the same size. So see, I'm left-handed, but see how you, oh, and it's like a pencil grip type situation too. See, like that. And they love these kinds of things, so that's nice to have. And then I was showing you guys in the Handwriting Without Tears that has examples of the blocks. These are the blocks, and they're magnetic, so you can make different letters with them. My husband just got home and they're singing. Okay. So like, see, this makes the letter D. And there's a bunch of different like shapes and sizes to make like uppercase, lowercase letters and different things. So I really like having this all together in this bin, because before, when I was disorganized, I felt like we didn't use all of these great resources we have. But now, being more organized, I feel like we will use them a lot more. And then in here, I actually have another curriculum, but first I want to show you Learning Without Tears. They also have, this is Play-Doh, so it's just like, there's the Play-Doh, and then you roll it and put it on the different letters, and it has a bunch of cards with all of the letters. So this is really nice and really fun to do. My kids are obsessed with Play-Doh, and then you can put it in this thing like that. Oh, and there's even a picture like of an elephant for E and stuff, so that's cool. So my kids are obsessed with Play-Doh, so this is a big hit whenever we use this for learning about letters. This is from Learning Without Tears. And then I actually have in here all about reading pre-reading curriculum. I've spent a pretty penny on this back in the day, and I didn't really end up using it. I just didn't like it. It didn't suit me. I am more of an open and go curriculum mom. So anyway, it didn't really suit me, but I love the pictures they have with the like little ideas on the back, like craft sheet instructions on the back. So it says, you will need markers or crayons, 3 buttons, optional. Draw zigzags in the letter Z with markers or crayons. Color the zipper silver. Decorate the jacket with crayons. Optional, glue buttons on the 3 pockets. So that's fun. Henry liked doing that. So when we have time, or I feel like it, or whatever, I'm going to do that with Jack. And then also something that I did like, so I liked this workbook from the curriculum, and something else I did like was the Rhyming Alphabet book and the Lizard Lou, a collection of rhymes, old and new. And we actually have the Zigzag Zebra or whatever puppet, so I could use the puppet. So when I feel like things are just, you know, stale or whatever, I can whip that out and use that, talk about rhyming and poetry. So I like that I have this organized. Otherwise, all the extra things would not get used. But since I have them in my special little bins, and I have them organized in my closet downstairs where we homeschool, I think I will pull these out and use them when we have extra time. I wanted to just touch on art. I feel like that should be an entire video though, because this has gone so long. But I did want to just mention some things I really like for preschool. These are some coloring books I love. Instead of just getting your generic like Paw Patrol coloring book or whatever, I would get these. So the reason I like these, this one is called My First Big Book of Coloring, and this one is called My Big Activity Book. But I like that they are just one picture, like one more simple and big picture. Jack really liked coloring on these. So these are some of Jack's like little masterpieces, you know, my little artist. Oh, and he even cut some. Like, see, he spent a really long time on this little octopus. But he just seems to like that it's just one big picture, big, lots of space to color it, simple. Unlike a Paw Patrol, whatever coloring book where it's smaller, you know, and kind of more complex. Bigger and more simple. He really likes it. This is a similar kind of coloring book, similar kind of deal. So we will continue to use these. As for like supplies for art, I got him a marker and watercolor pad. So I also got this for Henry. So they both really like watercolor paint, and they like watercolor and they like markers a lot. So I figure a watercolor and marker pad would be perfect. And then I also just got them a fresh set of markers, like the thicker markers. I actually probably should get a second one because they fight. They do not like to share. So, and sometimes, you know, you have to make them share, and other times it's just not worth it. So I think I need to get a second one of these. But I did get 2 of these, just a new watercolor set for this year. And I got some more Ticonderoga pencils. You can never have too many pencils in my opinion. And then another little art thing I wanted to show you guys, get these dot markers. These are so much fun. So this is what they look like. It's just like marker. It's like a dot. It's almost like paint, and honestly it did kind of stain my table. They say it's no mess, but it kind of stained my table, but I'm just like whatevs. But these kids, we can't have anything nice, you know what I mean? But he loves doing these, you know, so much fun. Come with a bunch of different colors from Amazon. I also decided to show y'all, I got craft sticks. I thought he would love like making a car or a fence or whatever out of these. I know we could use these for things. I will do like a tour of our craft cabinet, because we have a whole craft cabinet and it does come in handy. So I will do a tour of that once I've got it more organized, because it's kind of a hot mess right now. I want to get that organized before the school year starts, but I'll try to do a tour of that. Because like I also have this, the giant encyclopedia of art and craft activities for children 3 to 6. This is really nice for just tons of fun art and craft activity ideas. Great book. I would definitely recommend this. I also have the Good and Beautiful like craft book for ideas on crafts, so I'm sure we'll use that at some point. I would also recommend these books. I will link these down below, but they're just flat books. You can trace the letter, and then it's a little flap. So these are just really nice. The letters and numbers ones, just great for continuing to teach that with your little one. Other curriculum that I have is, someone kindly drew all over it, but this is Before 5 in a Row. And like I have the corduroy book. So you read a book 5 times in a row, and you do like fun activities that have to do with Bible, history, poetry, music, relationships, family. I love this, and I want to utilize this more this year. I did a couple of them, like I did the corduroy one with Henry, and honestly we could redo it because he probably forgot, but it even gave us the idea to like go to the mall, because corduroy, you know, is like in a mall. So go to the mall, learn about the first floor, the second floor, the elevator. And doing something like that also works for all the ages of my kids, from my 1-year-old up to my 14-year-old. All of them would enjoy going to the mall, you know. We can get like a cookie cake, and it can be kind of like a kick off the beginning of the year tradition is what I'm thinking, because I did this last school year. But last school year, my oldest was in public school, unfortunately. Big mistake on my part. I will link some videos where I talk about that. But, so he'll be able to be a part of it this year, and it'll be fun because it'll be when school's in session. So the mall will be pretty empty, and we can just really window shop and get like a treat. And so it's a pretty minimal cost, like a little outing, but the mall is just so much fun, even if you don't buy like a bunch of clothes or stuff or whatever while you're there. And then you can be learning in it. So that's what I loved, that Before 5 in a Row gave me that idea to do something like that. And that's honestly the direction I want to go with homeschooling, is not so much just like sitting and doing our curriculum every day, but like getting out in the real world, getting out into nature, doing field trips, all of that. And sometimes you just don't have ideas of how to do that. And so it can be fun to utilize a curriculum like this to give you some ideas. But I mean, oh my gosh, social studies on saving. So I love that. Lisa sees corduroy in a department store and wants to have him. Her mother tells her, not today, I've already spent too much. Lisa quietly goes home, but later the story shows that Lisa checks her piggy bank, has enough to buy the bear, and her mother gives her permission. Ask your child if he knows what a piggy bank is. Talk about saving banks and saving for things that you might want. Let your child make a special box or tin with a slot and give him coins now and then to save. Keep it fun, and saving will become a habit. I love that tip. Like, I love that. I do think we're going to start with corduroy again, because we didn't do all of the ideas. So I think that this is actually inspiring me, you guys, for the beginning of the school year. we're going to start with this as like our elective and do a bunch of these activities. I need to talk about that because I also like created a group, a homeschool group, and so I want to talk about that. I'm just like a total homeschool nerd. So anyway, I'm excited to use this, and I'm glad I did this video because it's kind of inspiring me. All right, I do have this, but I just don't think I need to get into all of this. This is like a little organization. I'll show this in my video of how I've organized things. And then I even have like some Melissa and Doug like lacing things. This like necklace lacing thing they love that has different shapes and colors and make a necklace. This that you use like different shapes to make different things. Use these different like little shapes. I know there's a name for it. Anyway, I think that is everything, you guys. I think that is everything. It's a lot. Oh, I did even brought this just to be like, all you need is this. I bought this at like Sam's. It's on the human body, and it's just random facts about the human body. My kids poured over this and were like begging me to keep reading this. All you need is that. So after I shared all of that, I think my message at the end of this is that you don't need a ton of things like this to homeschool your kids. But sometimes it can be hard to like figure out the direction of where you want to go. So maybe think of your values, why you're homeschooling, what you want to do with it, and then go from there. If you do have a bunch of manipulatives like me, I would recommend organizing them and put them in a closet that's like near where you're constantly homeschooling so that you will see them. They're not up in a room where you don't see and forget about them. But yeah, I really feel after going through all of that stuff, I might want to make a video that's like, all you need is this, like minimalist preschool picks or recommendations. Like, because I feel like that would be less overwhelming for people. And so if you want to see like everything I have, watch this video. This is everything I have. But if you just want to see like my main things I'm going to be using in a more simplified version, I kind of am tempted to make another video of just that. So we'll see if I have time for that. But if you made it all the way to this end of the video, thank you so much. I truly appreciate you being here. I love being nerdy and talking about homeschool stuff. I love homeschooling my kids. I'm really excited for the new school year. I hope you guys are too. I hope that this maybe inspired you, maybe motivated you to get started homeschooling your kids. And definitely give it a thumbs up if it did, and subscribe to my channel if you're new. I'll see you next time. Bye.